Hi, welcome to Kay's Little Lifestyles. My name's Christina. If you're new here, it's about me and my son. He's 7. A lot of times you might hear me talking about him having cancer and allergies and other things like that. And today I want to touch about why I went plant-based. For me, I consider myself vegan, but there might be people out there that consider me that I'm not because I consume honey in my diet, and there's controversy between is honey really vegan or is it not because it doesn't come from an animal, but the animals make it, and lots of other things that go along with that. But I want to explain to you why I became that way. Interesting story. So it all stems back to my son being cancer. He beat it. He's 4.5 years out, and by December 13th, he'll actually be 5 years cancer free, which I'm super pumped about. We're gonna have a party about it, and I'm really hoping that I can bring you guys along and show you a little bit of clips from it because it's just gonna be a great day. And lost words again because it's just something that you'd want to celebrate because not much people or kids get through stage 4 neuroblastoma. It's a cancer that a lot of babies die from because there's only 20% chance, maybe 30% chance success rate of even getting through the disease itself. And if you can get through the chemo, that's the biggest progress for them when you go through that. So another thing I want to tell you about why I went plant-based is because of that reason. When my son was sick, he was very well eaten. He can eat very well. There was lots of times he had a nose tube, which is called a G tube. It goes right into their nose, into their stomach, so you can directly feed them that way. And I did feed him a lot of purees through the nose so he can receive some of it through his stomach. And when I was starting to read the side effects on the papers, because when you go through the cancer treatments, they give you what on the list about what drugs are going to be given to your son, and in other pages it says what's the side effects. And then I started to notice that my son only wanted to start eating certain foods during these chemo treatments. And 1 week he would like something, and then 1 week he wouldn't like it. And then I started clicking in that maybe his body was trying to tell him something, that he needed these certain nutrients for these certain drugs to be able to have him feel better about, like, on the inside, so he can heal in a certain way. And when I started doing research about certain foods, a lot of them matched with his chemo treatments that he was receiving or just received, so a week later his body would still be healing from it. Then I started reading watermelon helps reduce tumors, blueberries, antioxidants and antibodies, and persimmons. Don't even get me started on persimmons. Persimmons have an enzyme in them called valerium, which is actually one of the main ingredients of chemotherapy that actually helps kill cancer cells. So it's actually quite amazing that I've discovered this from a little tiny baby at the time, that he was learning this, his body's learning this on his own. And then during his treatment, I just kept doing it, what was good for radiation, what food wasn't good for radiation, because he did receive that, and he received trial drugs, and there's a whole other video of what he received and what he didn't receive in other videos. Like I said. But when I looked into it, I really noticed that he was starting to do it. And then when he was done the cancer treatments and I gained a pile of weight, I did. I lived in a cubicle for 14 months straight, including with my son, so it was really difficult. I started exercising, started eating again. Coffee and donuts and tea were my main meal, so I was really badly overweight. I gained, oh goodness, I was 125 when I went in. I left 180 pounds, gained a lot of weight. So I started working at that, and then I started really reading into vegetables and fruits. And I know meat does actually still have the same, does have the same things of nutrients and different things, because I met someone who needed iron and stuff like that, which I didn't know fruits and vegetables did at the time because I was just learning things. It wasn't even on my mind to become vegan. He did eat a lot of venison, which is good high in iron and other things like that to really help him out. So I'm not saying that meat's not good, but for me, I chose to go plant-based on a vegan because that's benefit from my lifestyle. So I'm not here to tell you what to do. This is what I chose to do. So when I started researching in there, I started realizing I didn't need to eat meat anymore. And meat was really still keeping my belly bloated all the time. I still had that little paunch on the bottom that I could never get rid of. And when I removed all the meat from my diet and the milk from my diet and anything dairy, I really started to lose some weight. And people are going to be like, oh, it's because you're only eating fruit and vegetables. Well, no, I also eat grains and pastas and pizzas and all kinds of things that I can integrate with everything like that. And then with the benefits, I just kept reading and reading, and there's benefits with cancer and diabetes and blood sugars and asthma and learning disabilities, which also I integrate with my own son because he does have learning disabilities also. So for me, it was a benefit for me. I felt great ever since I've changed my diet, and I'm really happy that I really changed it. So, and then for me, in my family, there's more cancer, which my mother, rest her soul, died when I was 25 of stage 4 breast cancer, and I miss her. Can't say you don't. And then my dad had prostate cancer. He got through it. My nanny, my grandmother, died from, well, didn't die from cancer, but she did have kidney cancer too. And my son had cancer, not genetic, but he still had it. There's cancer all over the place. So for me, for my lifestyle, for me, this is what I choose to have for benefit for me. I also integrated into my son a lot more. My husband still eats meat because he chooses to, and I believe that we shouldn't force people into doing something they don't want to do. If he ever wants to go vegan, I will be so happy, but I will totally help him into it. But since I went vegan, he actually eats more fruits and vegetables now, which I'm really happy. Switch that in there for him. But other than that, that's the reason why I went plant-based, and I really hope now talk about plant-based. I read more about animals and how they're hurt and how butcher videos and make you sick when you watch that, but I'm not going to get into that because it'd make anybody sick to the stomach. But other than that, it's what I chose to do, and I'm really happy that I did. Hope you liked my video. Give me a like button, subscribe, and hope to see you next time.